Order. Welcome to the Board of Education for the School District of Waukesha. Today is May 10th, 2017, and we'll start our meeting by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So will you please take the roll call?
William Baumgart.
Here.
Barbara Brazing.
Here.
Greg Dietz.
Here.
Amanda Roddy.
Here.
Patricia Madden.
Here.
Patrick McCaffrey. Here. Kurt O'Brien. Karen Reinacek.
Here.
And Joseph Como.
Here. Kurt O'Brien is excused this evening. Also, Todd is excused this evening. He is the president of WASDA, as you know, and fulfilling his last commitment over these next couple of days. So he will be rolling into the past president's role next year. So he will have fewer things to do next year with that organization, but it was a good honor to have him representing our superintendent statewide. Good honor for him and shows the fantastic leader that he is. Now in the hot seat tonight is Deputy Assistant Superintendent Joe Cook. So all the tough questions tonight, we're going to kind of funnel in this direction.
Yes, we will.
Sue, will you please verify that the meeting's been properly posted?
Yes, it has.
Okay, thank you. We're going to start off our evening tonight with a fantastic success story, Core 2062 Robotics. Please come forward and share your story with us. Quite a year.
Hello. Is this mic on? Yep. Okay. Hello, we're Core 2062. I'm Brett, a senior at the Engineering Academy.
I'm Benjamin, a sophomore at the Engineering Academy.
And I'm Claire. I am also a sophomore at the Engineering Academy.
Core 2062 strives to be a place where the passions of our students become skills, concepts transform into physical products, and zeal creates a positive community impact.
Past season was Core's 11th season participating in FIRST Robotics. We currently have 39 students on the team and more than 11 mentors. Students come from all across the Waukesha School District as well as homeschool. We all meet together, average around twice a week in the Engineering Academy itself.
Core is part of an organization called FIRST, which is an international organization dedicated to spreading robotics, science, and technology throughout schools. They run 4 levels of robotics competition. Core participates in the highest level, FRC, which stands for First Robotics Competition.
Our season starts in early January when the game is first released. This year's game was named Steamworks, based on a steampunk theme. In a gist, the game is played by scoring wiffle balls into different goals on the field, along with placing plastic gears on special pegs. Then at the end of the match, all of the robots rush to attempt to climb their rope and activate a touchpad for additional game-winning points. From when the game is released to when we have to stop working on the robot and bag it, which means seal it up and not touch the robot till competition, we have 6 weeks. Amongst this, there's other parts of the team that work on business, PR, and scouting-related projects.
So our first competition of the season was the Wisconsin Regional in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We seeded first in qualification rounds, which is the first time it has ever happened on our team. We did, however, lose in the semifinals to the eventual winners of the entire competition. We were recognized by getting the Innovation and Control Award and recognized for our safety program.
The second regional we attended was the Seven Rivers Regional held in La Crosse, Wisconsin. This was the first time that the Seven Rivers Regional was ever played. We won the tournament, and we were ranked 3rd at the end of qualification matches and were picked by the first seeded team. We set the season world high score at the time of 533. We won the Innovation and Control Award, which honored our control and programming teams, and we were recognized for our award-winning safety program.
Our win in lacrosse qualified us to attend the World Championships, which are held in St. Louis, Missouri. This championship is the final and largest event of the FRC season. At this event, we finished qualifications 18th in our division, and then got picked by the 7-seed Alliance to go on and lose in the semifinals, which was a great success. However, with over 400 high school robotics teams attending from nearly every U.S. state, 40 countries, it was a great opportunity to learn from other peers.
So our community outreach is responsible for going to places like the county fair, state fair, or Summerfest. We present and give demos to our community. We also volunteer for Adopt a Highway. We even give presentations sort of like this to our sponsors to show them what our team is like and get them excited about where we're headed.
Another prong of our outreach is VEX and FLL. We run a VEX League, which incorporates middle schoolers from 14 different middle schools throughout the Waukesha School District. They can come in every Wednesday night during the season and receive help from core members on their robots. Then we host a qualifying tournament at the end of the season for 22 different middle school teams in Waukesha County. We also host FLL events. FLL stands for First Lego League, which is another branch of First. Over 1,000 people from southeastern Wisconsin attended our qualifying sectional that we held at South. Students and mentors from core mentor many different FLL teams.
As Benjamin mentioned, VEX is our main outreach to the local middle schools in Waukesha. However, this year the program did not achieve what it could have. This was due to a lack of funding, so one team wasn't able to pay the registration fees, which are mandated by VEX, and then another team just didn't have enough staff interest, so they also didn't have any teams. Also, all of the schools, except for STEM, they have aging parts. So we would love to work together to come up with solutions to get the VEX program back to being successful.
Thank you for inviting us to present to you. If you'd like to stay informed or in touch with the team, you can follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagrams at Core2062.
Thank you for that presentation. Do we have questions for our?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I think you've got some leadership standing in the back. How about introducing your teachers to us?
Yeah, so Mr. Farrell, he's our lead mentor, standing next to him is his wife. So yay, she lets him spend hours upon hours of his life. Then there are Mr. and Mrs. Davis. They both spend their lives with us.
As well as their children, might I add.
Yep. Their children also mentor our team. Those are the mentors we have here tonight, but as we said, we have numerous other mentors that help us.
And do you meet during the day in school or just after school?
No, we meet after school. So during competition or build season, which is January to a little before now, we meet Tuesday and Thursday, 5 to 9, and then Saturday,
Okay.
8 to 5. And we may
Okay.
even throw in some other meetings in there.
Okay. So it's understandable that you can include any other schools' students that want to participate.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, I'm very impressed with what you do, but most of all for the leadership that gave you the opportunity to do this. Marvelous.
Mr. Baumgart?
The slide you had of the St. Louis Arena looks like it's very large.
Yeah.
I happened to attend one of your events at the Milwaukee Arena a couple of years ago, and it was chaos, very organized chaos. I mean, it was so loud in there you couldn't think hardly. What was it like down in St. Louis?
St. Louis is significantly bigger. So there's 6 fields so at Milwaukee there was about 50 teams. Here there's about 70 teams per field. So
A lot of excitement and energy?
Yep.
So that stadium is about the size of a football stadium, whereas if you see like the Milwaukee Regional, very small. This, like he said, fits 6 arenas, plus an extra side for where everybody comes during meeting at the end. Normal arenas are all taken place with one arena on a field.
We also take up a convention hall and several other buildings for our causes.
It is a big deal, isn't it?
Very, very inventive.
Thank you.
Wow.
Mrs. Reincheck?
I just wanted to congratulate you on all of your winnings this year and say thank you to the mentors as well. When Amanda and I, Mrs. Roddy and I visited the Capitol, Adam Nalen had told us there's, 700,000 for VEX Robotics in grants, and I passed that along to Mr. Farrell. And I did talk to Todd about trying to get this down to the lower levels so that every kid has a chance. And I talked to Darren too. So just so you know, it's in the works. There's conversations being had just so that we don't have instances like you did this year with the kids not either having teachers or the funds. So
Mr. Dietz.
Could you guys give me some idea what funding is involved in this? What kind of numbers are we talking about?
I'm going to put you on the hot seat, Mr. Farrell.
Would you come
Can
up
you
to the microphone, please?
Talk to the microphone.
Good question.
I don't have all the numbers right in front of me, but just registrations alone, we spent $14,000 in registrations just for this team for 3 tournaments. Okay, and register the team is $5,000, $4,000 for a tournament, and $5,000 to go to the championship. We do most of this through corporate sponsorship. Some of it comes through fundraisings that we do with the kids, and then the kids also, chip in some of the money, especially when it comes to traveling. The operational cost this year was around $30,000 just for this team. Okay, and we do spend some money towards outreach with the groups, but we can't take on providing all the tournament fees
Budget
for
item,
all the
right?
middle school.
Not a budget item.
Yep.
and
Mrs.
what about the-
Reincheck.
Thank you. And what about the younger kids? I thought you were it's much less to,
So,
to
yeah,
start
for the
a.
younger teams, in the VEX space, about $75 to register a team for the VEX League. And that's just a registration to be part of the program. And then we keep our tournament, we give the Waukesha teams a discount, and we keep it down to like $50 for registering a team. Now, some of the schools have like 10 teams or something, so it does add up for cash. And they have the robots and aging parts that they're struggling to keep working. Part of that, they're 10-year-old robots.
Mm-hmm.
The actual platform that they would use, still grandfather them in to keep them going, but they're to get, to be on a level playing field, and also just because it's getting old and breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Brusink?
Yes, where do you get the $30,000 from?
As Mr. Farrell said, we have a variety of corporate sponsors.
Okay.
We have, I think DPI gave us a grant. There's a new grant in
Okay.
Wisconsin this year that granted high school robotics teams.
Okay.
I think it was like $250,000 across the state. We got a little bit of that, but it's mainly corporate sponsors. And then the school district provides us the facilities at the engineering academy. So
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mrs. Reincheck?
Thank you. What skills you touched on it a little bit, all the collaboration and the critical thinking and such, but like when you're, let's say, in math class or science or physics, and are you thinking about, oh, we just did this on the robot, or how does what you're learning in core bridge into your schoolwork?
I think it helps me a lot because I can take my homework. I can say, hey, do you guys know anything about this? Or even like working on the robot, I did a lot more on the actual robot last year, and it helped me visualize when I'm learning how to work Inventor and how to see things in 3 dimensions. It also helps this year in our physics class. What we're doing is we're mainly getting criteria and we're building these machines, and we're not really getting a lot of constraints. So it helps us to figure out how to not have them fall apart, just being able to have this experience.
And more than just schoolwork, I know this teaches the values of teamwork, of leadership, of how to work with other people, how to come up with a plan and then execute it. Things that can be used in any field.
We're a business.
Mrs. Brusink?
Thank you. What do the robots do?
So the game changes every year. So so we build a robot specifically for it. This year we have to shoot wiffle balls. You can choose to either shoot them into a high goal, which is about as high as this TV, or you can pour them into a low goal, or you can place these plastic gears that are about this size in on a peg, and then also the robot has to climb up a rope, which we had a picture of somewhere.
Thank you. Ooh.
There was one point in the, that you had made earlier, talking about you had 533 points for, which was the highest in the world at the time, and that was for the control unit that you guys designed? Could you, I think it was for the control unit.
No. So we had a match that was, so the matches are played 3v3, so we play with two other teams like us
Okay.
against a team of three, and in that match, we scored the world high score.
So
Also,
the robots scoring
Yeah.
the wiffle balls and,
Right.
okay, gotcha.
And then we also, at both of our regional competitions, won the Innovation and Controls Award, which I don't have the exact description of the award, what it entails, but basically our robot is technologically advanced, so we're doing something our programming or
Okay.
a feature on the robot.
It's a unique aspect of our programming or electrical
Yeah.
boards.
Excellent, excellent. How many of you do you think when you move on to higher education, will continue in the engineering area?
I plan on becoming an engineering manager. Based on what I do on the team, I kind of go around helping people. I do my own kind of projects, things like that. So I, for one, plan on staying in the field.
Going to MSUE next year for Management Information Systems, so not exactly engineering, but still very technical.
I'm not quite sure yet, but engineering is more and more of an option.
It's all right, Benjamin, you have some time, right?
Yep.
Excellent, excellent. Anybody else? Well, congratulations on an incredible year. Thank you to the sponsors, and the
teachers.
mentors to helping to make this come to fruition for you. And I think you said you had 39 on your team this year. Is that the largest ever? I don't
I think last year was
recall
like
the counts.
42.
Okay,
It always seems to range around 40.
nice. Well, congratulations, and we wish you luck in the future.
Right? Oh, wonderful.
We do have a number of recognitions this evening, and we're going to start off with Jody Landish introducing our Cole winners, and we have a couple of them.
President, it's my pleasure. I have two Cole winners in the audience, and I'm going to introduce them one at a time so they get their proper applause from the group. First of all, I'd like James Murray to come on up and stand next to me here. He is our Cole Leadership Award winner this year, and as a 2017 winner, he's the winning principal and also Wisconsin Secondary Principal of the Year. So talk about a double whammy here in terms of his acknowledgments. James lives by the proper belief that all students deserve a personalized education, period. James has worked hard to build a diverse team of teacher leaders who support competency-based education and cultivate a climate of failing forward, along with a mission to grow and embrace a disposition among all stakeholders that intentional, disruptive innovation is core to a continuous cycle of innovation. With a bottom-up approach and strong teacher leadership, overseeing a coaching style environment of learning for students, James continues to create the ultimate learning experience for all students, where student voice and choice are optimal tools, driving the levers of success in their education. So I'd like to all give a round of applause for James on this.
Would you like to say some words, James?
Thank you. Yeah, it was a total shock when they came to school. They, and by they I mean some members of the board and our governance board, DPI, ASA, Joe Schrader, Jim Lynch, exec director, and I was doing an observation right outside the gym, and Eric Hill helped sneak all the kids outside around the school and back into the gym. Joe was there, Jody was there, and it was nothing short of amazing.
They're
Todd
sneaky.
introduced- What's
They're
that?
sneaky.
They were, yeah, I don't, it was, that one got past me. So it was amazing, and then just to walk in and see everybody, and then Eric had got my father there as well, so saw him, and he was just falling apart, he was crying, and I almost lost it. Couldn't speak, just had the white haze around me. But it's been nothing short of amazing again, this journey in SDW at STEM, with our board, with our governance board, with Jenny as a fellow Cole. winner, Jason Smith, too, obviously. Just thank you all for everything, STEM, Waukesha, the community, the partnerships, and your support. Honor.
Well, Jim, you will represent Wisconsin quite well. Is there there's a national event that you're going to be going to
Yes, sir.
representing us? Would you talk a little bit to on that?
Yeah, they shocked me with that too at the day of the award. There's a, I thought because he sort of glossed over it, he said, and you'll be going to DC, and kept going and going, and I said, whoa. So the White House is in September, and then there's a national recognition for, I want to say the top 3 in the country, and then they choose the top 1, and I filled all that out last Monday, the previous Monday. So it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking, but it'll be neat. They announced that in October, so.
Wow.
Would anyone like to have any comments?
Sure.
Questions? Mrs. Brezink?
Jim, I've always been a great fan of you. When you were a teacher and certainly principal to principal, I'm so proud of you. You've done such marvelous things. Good job. Keep it up.
Well deserved, Jim. We're very proud of you. Keep moving forward. Enjoy this. Take it in. Learn from your colleagues nationally. I think that's a good opportunity to really have such a huge amount of talent in one place, and you're part of it. And thank you for representing us so well, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, board.
All right, it's my pleasure to introduce Jenny, if you'd come on up, Jenny Lambert. The long-standing goal of bringing equity and greatness into the world of education, Jenny has spent many years working with students and being one of the strongest advocates for them that the School District of Waukesha has ever seen. From running events that focus on developing girls in STEM-related fields to supporting students of low socioeconomic status, Jenny has always worked to raise the bar for educational goals for all students in Waukesha across various age groups and backgrounds. With a passion for helping students explore more than just the language of a country, she designs her daily instructional pathways to help students dig deeper into the culture, heritage, language meaning and decoding, landforms, as well as what it means to be a citizen of each respective corner of the world. As she continues to pursue the highest levels of personal educational growth, she has earned her PhD as well. Jenny is able to somehow, and maybe she can tell us how, find balance and spend time designing and developing her own professional goals while also balancing time for her amazing family. It's my pleasure to congratulate Jenny on her Teacher Fellowship Award.
Thank you. I've not received my PhD yet. I'm still working on it. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and so it was on my bucket list. So I still have probably a couple years. That's something that I'm still working on.
Jody's confident, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Thank you. I appreciate everyone's support. As I stand here on side by side with all my colleagues that I've ever worked with, and the School District of Waukesha teachers. I am so privileged to be part of this organization, not only with the educators that I work with, but the custodians, the secretaries. This is a phenomenal place. I've been fortunate to be able to have the support of family, parents, students, and the community. As I was thinking back of, so tomorrow's the STEM for Girls event. We were just granted to do our first STEM for Girls camp. Our governance board has been very supportive. And I just think back of all of the support from MSOE, GE, Carroll University, Cardinal Stritch. Every success is because of everyone's help. And so I thank you too for your support. Thank you.
Any questions or comments? Well, Jenny, challenging students, helping them to become lifelong learners, and citizenship is not one of those core things anymore. So really, that's a very challenging thing in these times. We're so divided, and people don't necessarily understand what citizenship is all about. And so to start at a very young age and to instill that into our children and having them be lifelong learners and challenging them every day. Thank you for doing that well. And congratulations on being recognized as one of the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we also have a recognition that will be presented by Mr. Cook. He will be introducing the new Director of Student Services.
Thank you. Tonight we have Luke Pinion with us. Luke was our choice to be the next Director of Pupil Services in our department. He'll be replacing Sharon Thiede. He comes to us from the Oak Creek Franklin School District with an extensive background as a school psychologist and somebody who's worked very closely to meet the unique needs of learners in all of his environments. We're very fortunate that Luke has his email and his calendar already loaded, and he has joined us for an ILT meeting last week. So I'll give Luke the opportunity to answer any questions. And
Hi, good to meet the board. I'm really excited about getting on board with the School District of Waukesha. I continually hear a lot of really great things about the district, both informally and formally, and I'm really looking forward to kind of jumping in the deep end, so to speak, with the district. Seems like you have a really great team. So,
Great.
Any questions?
It sounds like there's no grace period here. You're just being thrown right into the
I
fire.
got my Twitter account up and ready for everyone as well. So,
Any questions or comments from fellow board members?
Welcome aboard.
Yes, welcome, Luke. We look forward to working with you.
I look forward to it too. Thank you.
Moving on to the section of our meeting where we hear from our student representatives. We're going to have eAchieve represented tonight, Mustafa Hassan. Oh, and I keep forgetting eAchieve is always virtual.
Virtual, that's right.
I'm looking in the audience.
Give Mustafa a chance to turn his camera on. Challenges and fun of virtual.
Online music class.
Mustafa, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce. I'm Jason Smith. I'm the associate principal at eAchieve. Thanks for inviting us back and inviting Mustafa back to come and share some of the good things that have happened at eAchieve since his last visit. I just wanted, before I turn it over to Mustafa, I just wanted to recognize him. He was recently ranked third nationally for 12th graders in the 50,000 participant MathCon competition in Chicago in April. So I wanted to congratulate him publicly. And with that, I'm going to. It's called the MathCon competition. I think he's going to speak a little bit more to it in his words tonight, but I wanted to recognize him publicly for his achievement. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mustafa.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm happy to be back today representing the eAchieve Academy. I've had a considerable amount of excitement since my last presentation. So as I mentioned last time, I am a co-president of the eAchieve Student Council. And Student Council in particular has seen some progress since then. We are currently wrapping up the creation of the school yearbook, which has received more picture submissions than any other year. We also planned and hosted successful arcade and bowling outings where eAchieve students were able to meet and have enjoyable time with their classmates. We also recently held a writing contest with the help of the eAchieve English teachers, conducted a couple of teacher interviews, and are about to start planning the family outings for next year. Besides Student Council, eAchieve has once again performed very well in this year's MathCon competition. This is our third year participating in MathCon, and we have had honorable mentions and silver medalists at the Chicago finals every year since we started. Last year, we even had a national champion in the 6th grade level, someone who was first place in 6th grade. This year, we had an honorable mention in 7th grade, and silver medals in 7th and 12th grades. And as he mentioned, I was a silver medalist in 12th grade. Finally, a few weekends ago, 42 students attended the Achieve prom at the Kalahari in Wisconsin Dells. I heard students were served a delicious dinner and danced while Principal Nedesheim and his son Phoenix, also full-time Achieve students, dropped some sick beats. As it turns out, Mr. Nedesheim is also a professional DJ. I did not. Anyway, as we draw to a close another productive, enjoyable year at Achieve Academy, we continue to enjoy a flexible schedule, exciting academic opportunities, and enjoyable social events in a truly unique setting. Personally, I'm a senior this year. I've benefited from being an Achieve student in many ways. I had the pleasure of participating in MathCon, as I mentioned. I attended the annual Devil's Lake trip that we have a couple of times. I was part of student council, and I was able to take college coursework on my own schedule thanks to eAchieve's flexibility. And thanks to my success at eAchieve, I'll be studying biomedical engineering at UW-Madison next year, and was even able to obtain some credit for the AP and college coursework that I completed. I hope that eAchieve will continue to offer these same exceptional opportunities to many generations of future students. Thank you.
What questions do we have for Mustafa? Any questions? I have one for you. How many people are on the student council?
I think it's around 30, something like that.
Okay.
And we have all different grades. I think this year we had a third grader join, something like that. So we have all different years, grades in school.
And I'm assuming your meetings are virtual?
Yes, they are virtual. We meet approximately every 2 weeks.
So do you divide up into elementary, middle, and high school, or do you just all meet together? How's that work?
No, we tend to all meet together, and we just discuss things as a group, all of us together at our meetings. And then for various projects, like working on our school newsletter or the yearbook that I mentioned, we have sometimes separate committees. They're open to anyone who's interested. And then we have separate meetings for each of those committees where we work on these projects.
Is this the first time you guys had a yearbook, or has that been a tradition?
It's relatively new. I think it was started 3 years ago, something like that. So it is relatively new. It's becoming more successful. It's been a great success.
Nice. Mrs. Brezink.
Yes, I would like to know why you chose eAchieve.
I chose eAchieve because I felt that it would be more flexible in terms of academics specifically. I really enjoy math in particular, and I really wanted to be able to take advanced courses in math. And my high school I was in, or middle school actually I was in, didn't really offer that type of flexibility. And so that's the main reason I switched to eAchieve.
Where are you speaking to us from? Your home?
Yes, I'm at home. I live in Greenfield.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bungart.
Yes, Mustafa, we've heard from you a couple times, and it's been very enjoyable to do that. One of the things about eAchieve is we have people from a variety of different places. I know you are at least in the southeast Wisconsin area. Have you had the opportunity to meet somebody from a rather unique place or background or something? I mean, you don't have to give me any names or anything like that. I'd just like to know a little bit about what you picked up with some people that aren't from Milwaukee area.
I have met someone who lived in Heartland. I guess it's not like Rylander. It's not so too far away. But yeah, I met him through math competitions.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Mustafa, we wish you all the luck at Madison next year. You have represented your school very well, and I think it's incredible that you got third place out of 50,000 people. Oh my gosh.
Brilliant.
I just cannot imagine that. So We really wish you luck, and we hope that you can truly apply those skills that you've learned at eAchieve in higher education. And it sounds like you're very ambitious, and we wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mustafa.
Thank you, Jason. Moving on to the next portion of our meeting, we're going to take some time to listen to our citizens speak. As has been past practice, we will limit that time to 3 minutes. At the 2.5-minute mark, Barb will give you an indication with 30 seconds left to wrap up your comments. We expect that all speakers to honor the time limit, to refrain from using any inappropriate language in any manner, and be respectful in their comments. Speakers who do not meet these expectations will be prohibited from speaking at future Board of Education meetings. We also expect that the audience will be respectful of the speaker and of the Board of Education, refrain from verbal comments, cheering, applause, and other behavior that will detract from the meeting. Also, in order to respect our speakers tonight, please make sure that we've turned off our cell phones. And our first speaker, we don't have any signed up tonight. So is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the Board of Education at this time? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to our minutes approval. We do have 3 sets of minutes to approve. April 19th, regular board minutes, April 19th in executive session, and then April 24th, we had a special meeting and reorganization. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Amanda. Any discussion, corrections? Okay, Sue, please take the roll call vote.
Barbara Brezink.
Aye.
William Baumgart.
Aye.
Patrick McCaffrey.
Aye.
Karen Reinacek.
Aye.
Amanda Roddy.
Aye.
Greg Dietz.
Aye.
Patricia Madden.
Aye.
Joseph Como.
Aye. Passes 8-0, Sue. Moving on to our communications. Do we have any communications that the superintendent wanted you to report on, Joe?
We do not have any.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Brezink, do we have a report on the Waukesha Education Foundation?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Mr. President. The 7th annual Foundation Run Walk is this coming Saturday, and it's going to start at Waukesha North High School. The event can be enjoyed by all ages with the option of a 5K, 3K walk, or a 1-mile run for children under the age of 12. The event also has a wellness fair featuring a Kids Ninja Warrior Challenge, Army Challenge, Humane Animal Welfare Society, City of Waukesha Fire Department, and a variety of booths with information on how to stay active, fit, and healthy. So please join us in an event that supports wellness, offers family fun, and promotes the work of the foundation. For more information, go to Waukesha Education Foundation section of the School District of Waukesha website. Through the support of our community, the Waukesha Education Foundation continues to grow and is able to provide grant funding to enhance classroom projects for the School District of Waukesha. Over the 14-year history of the foundation, approximately $200,000 has been awarded to fulfill grant requests by district staff members. The funds of the foundation grants go to programs that promote innovation, enrichment, technology, and learning. For the coming 2017-18 school year, we have received 58 applications for grants. 26 grants were funded, totaling $30,000 in awards. 25 of the schools within the district are receiving grants. They will be announcing the grant recipients in the near future. In honor of our past president, educator, and community leader, the foundation has created the Sally Jo Michalko Fund. From this grant will be used for projects promoting social justice, which was a lifelong passion of Sally's. Mr. President, that concludes my part.
That was a tough loss that the community took with Sally.
It was.
She poured her heart out into everything that she had done, and was a teacher in this district for many years, and really helped out the foundation quite a bit. So she is missed. She is missed. Thank you, Mrs. Brezink, for your report. Moving on to our Safety Committee report given by Ms. Roddy.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The Safety Committee met this morning at the service building at 9 a.m. as usual. The student and staff accident reports were reviewed. There was no new There's no new information out, so it was just recapped of the old business. Dates were posted for the CPR AED training classes over the summer. If any staff or administration missed that, see your email from Jules Furman. There were reminders. Reminders will be sent out to principals to do their safety drills over the summer months, especially those that will have summer school. So you'll have students in the buildings that aren't familiar with the building, so they're going to be reminded to do those. Then there was brief discussion, once again, with regards to the pet or the no pet signs on the different school properties. Some are more visible than others. And it was requested that Glenn send an email reminder out to the principals to just remind the families of that policy. And lastly, the future meetings of the committee will not resume until August unless something is needed in between time. And that, Mr. President, concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our charter school and program report given by Mr. Baumgart.
Thank you. I've just got 3 or 4 things to report on tonight. The first one deals with what they call Butler's School's Gallery Walk. I'm going to give you much more information on this in your packet, but what impressed me was it is a staff-to-staff sharing program on educational strategies. I'll just read the first couple of sentences. Twice a year, a group of teachers, they call them their Lit Squad, provide a professional development cycle on a number of high-leverage instructional strategies that they have identified as a need for the staff to improve. They get together and they share these ideas with each other, and then they do this gallery walk so the entire staff can benefit from it. And they'll have things available that you can visit, student-to-student feedback, what they call anchor charts, open-ended responses, math strategies, and so on. Very informative and very interesting, and I think that the key thing that I was impressed with was, again, the staff-to-staff concept of it, that they share and train each other. Secondly, unfortunately, they left, but the STEM people have a couple reports from STEM. Jenny mentioned it, and the STEM for Girls program, which has been several years now, is tomorrow night at Carroll University from 5 to 7. And of course, the purpose here is to get our young women, girls, secondary girls mostly, to understand that engineering and physics and things like that are reasonable and appropriate things for them to be studying and looking for careers in. And I think we are building up some enthusiasm in that area, one that was in need. And again, that will be tomorrow. Also from STEM, Jim had sent some information. You know, we heard about the awards that he and Jenny both received, but what comes with that and the school will benefit from a $6,000 grant for both of them from the Cole Fellowship Awards, which will be about $12,000 sent to the school in June and will be available for innovative purchases for the STEM programs. In addition to that, Jim had written for a grant from the Institute for Personalized Learning at CISA 1, and it's another $6,000 is going to be coming into the STEM program to be used in Leadership Design Academy, and so on this coming year. And excuse me, and from Lowell, I had mentioned at the previous meeting that they have formed that sign language club, and yes, indeed, they did perform at Miller Park for the Brewers signing the national anthem. Unfortunately, when it was televised, they didn't televise that part of it because the pundits always have to have something to talk about before they allow the kids. So it was unfortunate, but I have talked to Rachel about maybe she's got something on video or something for a future visit. She did send me a picture that will be in your package so you can see the group out there at Miller, standing at Miller Park. And she wants to add into this that this Friday will be the Lowell Wellness Day. If you want to check out what's going on at Lowell, they'll have guest speakers and activities developing healthy mindsets for our children. And that would conclude my report.
Thank you, Mr. Bumgarner. Next will be our consent agenda. Mr. Clark, do we have any public gifts to report on?
Yeah, there's one gift tonight. The Waukesha Sunrise Rotary donated $3,600 to Waukesha North High School to help pay for a meal packing event hosted in coordination with Rise Against Hunger as part of North's second annual Service Learning Day. On May 22nd, the students will be preparing and packaging over 10,000 meals to be sent to countries struggling in the fight against hunger.
Wow, that's a lot of meals. Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you for that gift to the Waukesha Sunrise Rotary Club. Is that the one you're a member of, Pat? Which?
No, I'm Noon.
You're the noon
Kiwanis.
one? Oh, okay. Well, we'll say thanks anyways. You represent the Rotary in general.
No, I don't. I represent Kiwanis in general.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think our
Wanna go for strike three here, Joe?
I think our superintendent belongs to our Rotary Club.
Okay. I just heard noon, I guess, and
Yeah.
not anything else. But thank you for that wonderful donation. How's that sound?
We do a lot of good too. In fact, we're about to give scholarships to each of the high schools.
Great. That's great.
Oh, yes. Your consent agendas do have various categories for approval. If any board member wishes to have an item set aside for separate consideration, you will have that opportunity to do so. There were no expulsions for this past month. And if there is something that you would like set aside, now would be the time to indicate that. Okay, seeing none. Ms. Madden, will you present the consent agenda?
Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier this evening, the Human Resources Committee approved of 11 resignations, 1 retirement, 4 leaves of absence, and 894 new or modified teacher contracts. The information was provided in your packet, and an addendum was placed on your desks. Mr. President, I move that the consent agenda be approved as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Reincheck. Discussion? Okay, Sue, please take the roll call vote.
Greg Dietz.
Aye.
Karen Reinacek.
Aye.
Barbara Brezink.
Aye.
Patrick McCaffrey.
Aye.
Patricia Madden.
Aye.
William Baumgart.
Aye.
Amanda Roddy.
Aye.
Joseph Como.
Aye. Passes 8-0, Sue. Thank you, Pat. Moving on to the superintendent's report. Did Mr. Gray leave you one?
He did not leave a report for me.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Moving on to our committee reports, where we do a lot of our detailed work. We're going to start out this month, and we rotate through who begins. Teaching and Learning Committee, given by Mrs. Brezink.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. The last Teaching and Learning Committee meeting was held on May 2nd, 2017 at 6 o'clock p.m. There are no action items. There's one information item and one discussion item that appears on the agenda for Teaching and Learning this evening. The first information item relates to the annual at-risk update. And at our meeting on May 2nd, Sharon Thiede informed the Teaching and Learning Committee of the number of students in grades 6 through 12 who are identified as at risk of not graduating from high school. Annually, the board is provided an update on the number of students in this category in order to meet compliance with the Department of Public Education. Next item is a discussion item, and it relates to Student Achievement Update, Hadfield Elementary School. Al Bush, principal of Hadfield, along with teacher Jenny Restock, were present at the May Teaching and Learning Committee meeting to highlight how Hadfield's SAIL team has narrowed the focus and used eSAIL literacy and math data and the vertical PLC to improve instructional practice, leading to increases in student achievement. Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes the Teaching and Learning report.
And that last item is a discussion item. Is there
any discussion?
Yes. Questions or comments? All right. Thank you, Mrs. Brezink.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Moving on to our next committee, Human Resources, given by Ms. Madden.
Thank you. We have one action item, and that is approval of the recommended candidate for the position of principal of Bethesda Elementary School. The administration is recommending Jeremy Martin for the position of principal of Bethesda Elementary School. Mr. Martin is currently an assistant principal at South High School. Mr. Martin will bring his administrative experience and large-scale project work to the team at Bethesda. His bilingual abilities will serve our school community well as an opportunity to better communicate with our bilingual families and in our work in dual language programming at the elementary level. His warm interpersonal skills and friendly nature, coupled with his student-centered philosophy of education, will make him a great fit for Bethesda. Former employers have emphasized his talents of having coherent, large-scale vision and the energy, detailed-oriented focus, and follow-through to ensure that these visions are carried out successfully. Jeremy Martin received his Master of Education, Education Leadership, and Administration from Jones University in Colorado, and his Master of Arts in Education from Marian University. His Bachelor of Arts is from UW-Stevens Point. We believe he will be a great addition to the Waukesha South team.
Bethesda team.
Also, it should be Bethesda. But I'm sure he will leave some of his enthusiasm at South also. Salary and benefits will be according to the middle management policies. I move to approve the recommendation of Jeremy Martin to the position of principal of Bethesda Elementary School.
Is there a second to that motion? Second by Mr. Dietz. Discussion? Ms. Madden, I think you have the Kiwanis Rotary disease that I had, so.
I just read the report.
It's just
and
catching.
I was here early and I read everything but this. So I didn't catch it. I'm sure he was a great addition to South and they're going to miss him.
You just wanted to make me feel better,
I
that's
just
all.
wanted to see if you were listening.
There you go. Sorry, I went down a tangent there. Any discussion? Any questions? Okay, Sue, please take the roll call vote.
Patrick McCaffrey.
Aye.
Greg Dietz.
Aye.
Amanda Roddy.
Aye.
William Baumgart.
Aye.
Patricia Madden.
Aye.
Barbara Brusink.
Aye.
Karen Reinacek.
Aye.
Joseph Como.
Aye. Passes 8-0. Pat?
Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. And we'll roll right into the Compensation Committee
We have
report.
not had a meeting. We will have one next month. It would be with our new committee, which is Human Resources and Compensation as one committee.
Yeah, we're merging those two together. So, okay. Moving on to policy, Mr. Bungart, will you please give that
Yes.
report?
Yes, we do have one action item this evening, or you could view it as 9, and I'm going to handle it as 1. This is dealing with the policies that I brought forward at the previous meeting, requiring a first reading, and this would be the second time around on that. If you recall, we received, this is part of the twice-a-year packets type we received from Neola on things that need to be dealt with. The majority, I guess almost all of these were dealt with, or we're dealing with because of some legal issue, just getting updated on being in fix with certain laws. So, revisions to policies, and I will read them off because that's what we have. 0100, 2370, 5111.01, 5341, 5530, 5780, 8330, and 2 new policies, 0151.2 and 5111.03. The proposed new, revised, and replacement policies presented here have been thoroughly prepared and reviewed for statutory compliance by Neola's legal counsel, reviewed by our administration, and approved by our policy committee. And therefore, I am moving for approval of the policies as presented.
Second.
Second to that, Ms. Brusink, second by Mrs. Brusink.
Just a comment, if you will recall, we went through these last month, and I did ask that anybody had any questions or issues that bring them up before this meeting because we don't have didn't have another policy meeting in the interim. And I received no calls, and I don't think Joe did either, so. It's pretty much, like I said, stuff that legally has to be there, so.
Discussion? All right, Sue, please take the roll call vote.
Amanda Roddy.
Aye.
Patricia Madden.
Aye.
Barbara Brusink.
Aye.
Karen Reinacek.
Aye.
Greg Dietz.
Aye.
William Baumgart.
Aye.
Patrick McCaffrey.
Aye.
Joseph Como.
Aye. Passes 8-0, Sue. Bill?
Thank you. We really have no information or discussion items. Our next meeting will be held next Tuesday, March 16th. You will be,
May 16th.
excuse me, May 16th. Yes, thank you, Barbara. See, I knew I got nervous when I was hearing you guys fight about all those things. Anyway, May 16th, next Tuesday. We will have another packet, a part of a packet from Neola that we will begin reviewing and be bringing that to you in the next meeting after that. Plus, we will be reviewing the policies that are involved with the combination of the Human Resources and Compensation Committees so that we update our board policies and bylaws in accordance with that change. So that's where we will leave it until next week.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bungart. Moving on to our Technology Committee, given by Mr. McCaffrey.
I have no report this evening. We will be setting up a meeting in June.
Okay. Next is our Finance and Facilities, and that report is also given by Mr. McCaffrey.
Thank you, Mr. President. On May 8th, 2017, the Finance and Facilities Committee met. On the agenda were 2 action items and 3 information items. The first action item was approval of self-funded dental plan. The committee was presented a recommendation from the administration to move to a self-funded dental plan. Currently, the coverage offered is a fully insured benefit plan with Delta Dental. Over the past few years, the administration has been monitoring the potential savings if we move to a self-funded platform. The most recent data shows a $100,000 in cost avoidance, which justifies a move to the self-funded platform with Delta Dental. Basically, Delta Dental will be administering it for us. The committee approved the recommendation to move to a self-funded dental plan with Delta Dental effective September 1st, 2017, and I so move.
Is there a second? Second by Ms. Madden. Discussion? Just a real quick point. One of the points that Mr. Clark had made during our meeting was, why are we self-funding this after we've self-funded our health care? And usually it's way easier to self-fund insurance, dental insurance versus health care. But just so happened the numbers didn't really work for us in the past. And they do now. And since we've gotten pretty used to self-funding from a healthcare perspective, and we have actually been pretty successful at that, it still will be just like with our healthcare self-funding. We have to build up a reserve. We're going to need to do that over the course of the next few years. But it looks like we're in pretty good shape to move forward with that. Would you like to comment at all, Mr. Clark?
Yeah, the only thing I'd add to that is in terms of staff impact, the networks and everything, Delta Dental still our partner in this line of coverage. The only thing that staff will notice is that they will get a new ID card with a new number, but to them this will be a seamless, they won't know self-funded from fully insured, in case there was any questions on that.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay, Sue, please let's take the roll call vote to move to a self-funded dental plan.
Karen Reinacek.
Aye.
Amanda Roddy.
Aye.
Patricia Madden.
Aye.
William Baumgart.
Aye.
Barbara Brusink.
Aye.
Patrick McCaffrey.
Aye.
Greg Dietz.
Aye.
Joseph Como.
Aye. Passes 8-0, Sue. Pat?
Alrighty, our second action item was approval of 2016-17 budget amendments. At the time the budget is adopted, the budget contains the administration's best estimates of the district's revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year. As the year proceeds, additional information becomes available that impacts the sources available to the district and the planned uses of district funds. Each spring, as year-end nears, the board considers budget amendments to fund capital projects that were not included in the original budget adoption.
Rather than initially budgeting for the work to be completed at the expense of other services, a contingency list of work to be addressed is placed on hold until additional financial information becomes available during the fiscal year. Under this funding approach, projects with limited turnaround and scope are targeted. The committee approved the 2016-17 budget amendment as presented, and I so move.
Is there a second to that? Second by Mrs. Reinacek. Discussion? All right, this is something that we do twice a year, is consider amendments. We're pretty good at making predictions, but we can't predict everything 100%. So, and we're fortunate to be in this position, so.
Yes, we are.
Sue, will you take the roll call vote?
Patricia Madden.
Aye.
Barbara Brusink.
Aye.
William Baumgart.
Aye.
Greg Dietz.
Aye.
Patrick McCaffrey. Aye. Karen Reinacek.
Aye.
Amanda Roddy.
Aye.
Joseph Como.
Aye. Passes 8-0. Pat?
We had 3 information items on our agenda on Monday. The first information item was monthly budget update. The committee was presented the budget report for the month of April. $5,319,873 was reported in the general fund revenue, and $8,772,548 was expended during the month. $564,397 was reported in the special education fund revenue, and $2,136,095 was expended. The district is operating in accordance with our budget projection in other areas. Our next information item was 403B plan update. The committee was updated on the approved vendor list for the district's 403B plan. Effective July 1st, 2016, the approved vendor options are, that's 2017. Effective July 1st, 2017, the approved vendor options are Fidelity, WEA, and Voya. This change will be effective July 1st, 2017. Informational staff meetings are in progress, and there will be ongoing education sessions into the new school year as well. Though there are no longer 17 vendors, employees still have nearly 200 mutual funds to select from. Our third information item was the facility master plan. The administration updated the committee on facility planning. As a follow-up to the February board workshop and staff tours of area facilities in March, an additional board workshop has been scheduled for May 24th. At this meeting, the administration will be asking for input on defining the scope and what is on the table for discussion to develop a district facility master plan. This is not a maintenance study. There will be ongoing communication on this topic. We had no discussion items presented, so Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. McCaffrey. That ends the committee reports. We'll be moving on to other business at this time. First item, item A, recommendations for future board meetings or committee meetings. Any items that we'd like to add to agendas at this time? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, Mrs. Brezink.
Yes, I mentioned it to Ms. Landish. Several of us, or a few of us anyway, were over at the jail the other day for the graduation. There
Yes.
were about 50 graduates. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to see the wonderful work that the teachers do there, and the teachers belong to the school district of Waukesha. So I thought that next year, perhaps we could do them either at the beginning of a board meeting so that they can tell us what's going on there, or we can do it at CNI,
Okay.
Teaching and Learning.
Well, I think you know somebody who might be able to agendize that at Teaching and Learning.
I do.
I would recommend that you talk to that.
I did.
That
I did.
chairperson.
I did.
Excellent, excellent. Good suggestion. Any other suggestions? Okay, we do, just a reminder, I just want to remind us, tomorrow night is the retirement dinner.
Yep.
And so a lot of us can't go to the STEM girls promotion, so.
I already discussed that with Jenny.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I emailed her back, but she understands. So just a reminder on that. And we do have a need for executive session, but only item C. We do not need B or D tonight. Mr. Baumgart.
Yes, I'll move that we adjourn to executive session per Wisconsin statutes 19.85, parentheses 1, parentheses C, to consider employment, promotion, compensation, performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the government body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, to discuss final notices of non-renewal. And I so move.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCaffrey. That is a roll call vote. Sue, will you take that?
William Baumgart.
Aye.
Amanda Roddy.
Aye.
Karen Reinacek.
Aye.
Greg Dietz.
Aye.
Patrick McCaffrey.
Aye.
Patricia Madden.
Aye.
Barbara Brusink.
Aye.
And Joseph Como.
Aye. Passes 8-0. We will go right into closed session.
Short.
It should be a short one, and we will need to reconvene into open session potentially, but I think it's only going to be a few minutes, so thank you for attending
Good.
tonight. Okay, we are reconvened into open session.
And he wants the principal.
We are looking at approval of final notices for non-renewals. Is there a motion to that degree?
Yes, Mr. President.
Ms. Madden?
Final notice is needed to meet statutory requirements for giving notice of non-renewal recommendation. Employees that do not have a teacher license because they are currently working on an emergency license or are not performing satisfactorily or due to program enrollment have been informed of this process. Mr. President, I move to approve the final notice of non-renewal of teacher contracts as discussed in executive session.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Brusink. Any discussion? Okay, Pat, will you take the roll call vote?
Barbara Brusink.
Aye.
William Baumgart. Patrick McCaffrey.
Aye.
Karen Reinacek. Kurt O'Brien is absent. Amanda Roddy.
Aye.
Greg Dietz.
Aye.
Patricia Madden, aye. Joseph Como.
Aye. Passes 8-0, Pat.
Yes.
And that concludes our business for this evening. Thank you, everybody, for watching us and being here with us. Have a good evening. We are adjourned.